Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel, The Quality Analyst. In this session, we will talk about the DOM concept. Okay, so what is DOM? DOM stands for Document Object Model. Think of a DOM as a live tree structure. It is created by the browser and it represents your entire HTML page as objects. So Selenium does not read HTML files. However, it interacts with the DOM objects which are created by the browser. Okay, so now let's right click on this web page and then inspect it. So once you inspect it, you land up to the developer tools and it highlights the selected element in the elements tab here. So if you or maybe if you want to select some element manually, you can do that from here. Okay, it will highlight the particular element. So now look carefully at the top of the developer tools. You see different tabs such as elements, console, then sources, network, and performance. So go inside console tab. So generally we write these DOM locators inside this console tab. So why? Because console allows us to directly talk to the DOM, execute some JavaScript commands, and instantly test the locators. So inside the console, we can type the commands directly. Okay, so let's write one simple command, that is document.getElementById. You can see multiple suggestions here. So generally we prefer to use first 4 or 5 mostly. Okay, like by ID, by class name, by name, by tag name ns. Okay, so we can generally use this. So just select by ID and then here you need to pass the particular ID. So simply add ID here. So I'm looking for an element which is having ID as principal. Okay, so just enter after it and then you see the element gets highlighted here and you see the result here. Okay, so it gives you the particular output. So if you hover over this, you see on the web page the element is getting highlighted and again the element is having the ID as principal. Okay, so this value is case sensitive. So let's consider if you pass some invalid ID value, that is, let's consider, okay, so I will just pass capital P here now. Okay, and then use principal, and then if I enter it, it will give you the result as null because it is case sensitive. So that's why it should be as it is. Okay, so now our principal ID doesn't have any capital letter, so it should be in the small case letters only. Okay, so we have other options such as document.getElementById, by class name. Okay, so let's consider if you want to search any element by ID here. So again, just select this method and then just pass the particular tag name. Okay, so now I will pass the tag name as input. So you see, just enter after it and then you see there are 34 occurrences are there for this input tag. Okay, similarly if you want to use class name, okay, again just go you element by class name. Okay, so now I know there is a class. I'm looking for a class having a class name as parent. Okay, and then enter after it. So now if you see here, just select this and then you see on the web page there is a parent getting highlighted. Okay, so if you want to see this, see it visually, you can just go down and then you see that particular option. Okay, so this way we can use this particular console tab. Okay, now let's say we'll just use one more here. Okay, again I will use document.getElement. So you can try with the class name or maybe by name as well. You can try it on your own. Okay, so get element by ID, and again I will pass the correct value here and then enter after it. So if you right click over here and then if you just click on open in elements panel, it will open that particular element in the elements panel. And again, here if you hover over it, it will highlight the particular element. Okay, so we can use these options in the console tab. So for example, let's assume like if you want to add a Selenium code, okay, how you generally write is driver.find element by .id, and then you pass the particular ID here, right? So principal here, in our case principal. Okay, remove this. Okay, so this is how you generally write a Selenium code for locating the element, okay, by ID. So internally Selenium is doing DOM lookup just like document.getElementById. So if JavaScript can't find it, Selenium won't either. Okay, so that's why this concept is important. So let's summarize today's learning. So DOM is what Selenium interacts with. Browser console is your best friend here. Okay, and document.getElementById validates locators. So if this session has helped you, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone struggling with the Selenium concepts. Okay, thanks for watching.